The wake surfing community was formed by a water sport that Centurion boats popularized. It is the buy-in of these dedicated enthusiasts that has pushed Centurion to become the world's best wake surf boat. This group sold out to the fun, camaraderie, and empowerment wake surfing provides. Because of this, they have taken the Centurion brand and wake surfing competitions to new heights. The wake surf community's feedback and support has played a large role in the momentum Centurion is currently experiencing. The events that we pull, the competitions, normally World Series of Wake Surfing events, are huge test beds for our product. They are not test boats typically that we are using, they're dealers' boats, but it gives us an opportunity to see under the most intense circumstances how these boats perform. We're running from 10 to 12-hour days and pulling surfers fully loaded.
As a driver and the extra hours that we put in the driver's seat, we were able to bring back a lot of information to our PD&E team, tell them what we saw this weekend or what we think would work better in our eyes, and any aspects that we see of innovations for the boats, you know, things that would make our job easier, but make the boats perform better as well.
As we have grown as a company, we've really focused on that performance aspect, and from Rick Lee into Shane Stillman, in creating this performance-driven brand is really showcased what we're capable of. We've ultimately had the best performance out there for the last several years, whether it's ride, whether it's wave. And so having people that are truly enthusiasts of our actual towboat segment go and ride behind different competitors and continuously come back to a Centurion and say, wow, that was the best wave I've ever rode, or wow, that was the best boat I've ever ridden. That is what really, I think, showcases the fact of what we do really, really well. We build an amazing boat, not just on the outside, but also from the inside as well.
Centurion started competitive wake surfing in 1996, just after the release of the Wave. The first full World Wake Surfing Championship was held at Lake Yosemite in Merced, California. The evolution of Centurion surf boat models started on a path of steep progress during this time, and it hasn't slowed down since. Even outside of the competitions, buyers who choose Centurion continue to help us innovate both boats and our marketing efforts. A great example of this is the RI 257. Once the Opti-V was released beneath the 2017 Centurion RI 257 in late summer of 2016, it began to build and be shipped to dealers as well as sell retail. We started to hear amazing stories of efficiency almost immediately. Our largest dealer, Boardco, pulled a Centurion World Series of Wake Surfing event in Utah with an RI 257 and confirmed the Opti-V hull's fuel efficiency. They pulled 75 surfers for 11 hours over 2 days and still had more than half of a tank of fuel left. The amazing testing, competitions, athletes, and ambassadors have provided for our products is only the beginning. These groups also help us sell and market our brands through word of mouth. They come to a competition or bring their children to compete. Then they buy a boat and either become a brand ambassador or a sponsored team rider. Some have even been hired as employees, like Ken Scribner, who is now our Centurion and Supreme team manager.
The world of wake surfing and our exposure we get from our athletes in the United States, but our international athletes, and the exposure it drives to us from so many athletes that don't see our boats on a weekly basis or don't get to surf behind our boats year-round. At these events, they all know and understand what the Centurion Wave brings to them, what the quality of our boats are, and what we do. So I think the wake surfing series as a whole just brings us into a new realm of exposure that we don't get through our standard marketing.
In 2023, we accepted the daunting task of creating and running the Centurion World Series of Wake Surfing, thanks in no small part to a group of our ambassadors. They have helped us organize and run the competitions. With their partnership, we were able to prove Centurion performance on the water all over the world. Our Waterproof Tour demo days have been so successful when executed alongside a WSWS event. We have partnered with the WWA to run the World Series of Wake Surfing and the World Wakesurfing Championship so we can focus on proving the Centurion difference.